think it's finally time we say goodbye to the truck. I'm gonna sell it because I got a replacement for it. But this has been a damn good truck. It's a 93 C3500, 454, 4L80, 127,000 miles. And it's in like super good shape for up here in Michigan. The worst spot is right here on the bed, both sides. Now, I had no intentions of getting rid of the truck. I thought I was gonna keep it for a long time. But I don't need two of them. Neighbor Kenny made a smoking deal on it that I just couldn't let anybody else have. So they're basically the same truck, and I can't keep them both, so unfortunately Terry Crews is up for sale. I'm thinking like $4,000 on it. I think that's a pretty fair price. It's a pretty clean old truck, low mile, big block, but we can't keep both trucks. So let me show you what we're replacing it with. Bam! Some of the OGs are gonna remember this truck from 3 years ago. That's right, 3 years ago, we were down in Tennessee with my neighbor Kenny, and he bought the truck and I drove it up for him. And since then, the truck's pretty much sat. I drove it the 650 miles back up, and he said he's put maybe 300 miles on it since he's had it. And it does need some work. It's not a perfect truck, but it is a Southern truck. It has very little rust. The worst part is these flares, like the fronts were all beat off, but new ones aren't that expensive. It is a 98. We swapped some NBS seats into. It's got 150,000 miles. And it's basically the same as the other truck, except it has the updated 454. It's still a 4L80, so it does make a little bit more power. It's a 98, so I can plug an OBD2 scanner into it and read any codes. It's honestly one of those deals that I just could not pass up. So it does need a little bit of work here and there, but for the most part, it's ready to just drive. He had the local exhaust shop put a whole new exhaust system on it, and they did, you know, all right. The tips are crooked, which is kind of annoying, but it sounds pretty good. And under this bed cover, it does have the rails and everything for a gooseneck hitch, which is sweet. But yeah, it's got the NBS back seat too. Just needs carpet cleaned, a better headliner, because this is out of the NBS truck, I believe. So it doesn't quite fit in here perfectly. It's just amusing that in the last 3 years, honestly, because the truck was sitting when he bought it, so probably like the last 4 or 5 years, I've driven this truck more than anybody else. And when I saw it up for sale and what he was asking, I was like, I can't let anybody else get this truck. I already knew all the history on it. I knew all the work he did. I know how much he put into it. So that's why we're selling the other truck, because I got to recoup this money. But it's a pretty good truck. Hopefully the battery didn't die. So yeah, the plan is to just fix all the little stuff on it, get new fender flares, because I don't think it's worth trying to like massage these and get them looking good when I can just, I might even be able to find a used set that are in good shape and throw those on it and just finish it, and then probably paint it, because yeah, just a bunch of little stuff like this. Alright, so you know we couldn't do a video about the truck without actually driving it, the part everybody's curious about. How does the lowered 1-ton dually drive? And I'm here to say right now, surprisingly like a car. I don't know if it's a placebo effect because it's so low that when you're on the road it feels like a car, or if it's because the suspension's a little bit stiffer, has better shocks, that there's not as much body roll. But whatever it is, it feels a lot like a car. And I gotta say that the video does not do the exhaust justice. It sounds way better in person. But I know that I don't have the bumpiest driveway in the world, but this thing doesn't bottom out in the driveway, which is always a good sign. This is like the bumpiest part of any of my drives, is right through here. But the thing actually does really good. And like I said earlier, this is a 98, which means I could plug the OBD2 scanner into it. Or what's even nicer is HP Tuners supports 98 to I think 2000 Vortex 7400s. So I can actually put a tune in this thing and pick up some ponies. which it needs. This is full throttle. It's shifted at 4,800 give or take, which is probably about where this thing needs to shift. I mean, this doesn't have the greatest heads or the biggest cam or anything like that, so it's probably fine shifting there. I think peak horsepower is like 4,500 RPM in a stock application. And I think peak torque is like 3,000 or 3,200, somewhere around there. And I did look it up. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think stock, they're rated at 290 horsepower and 410 foot-pounds of torque. But I think because this thing doesn't enable the power enrichment like at all, I looked at the tune on this thing and it doesn't enable the power enrichment. It has like a 60-second delay, and you have to meet whatever the other criteria is. So you can never go into power enrichment. And it's commanding shifts at, like I said, 4,800, which is, I mean, I think I could put it up to like 53 and be good. It's not like this is going to be a race truck or anything, but you know, we can just pick up little bits here and there. It has like no timing in it. I think it's at 12 degrees. So there are some gains that can be done just to make it feel a little bit spunkier. But all in all, like I said, the thing drives really good. I'm super happy with it. So I think the question that's on everybody's mind is, how is he driving without his hands? No, the question on everybody's mind is, will this truck, this lowered dually with 454 cubic inches, 7,400 cubic centimeters for our metric friends, will it do a burnout? And to me, honestly, I think there's only one way to find out. All right, so the truck might need a little bit of help. That is a lot of weight to turn back there. All right, so it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys are into the new truck. I think it's just too much tires, too much brake, because this is Hydro Boost, and just not happening. But yeah, that's probably gonna do it for today's video. If you're interested in the old truck, you can email me or send me a message on Instagram. If you want to get any merch to help the channel out, link is always in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing and clicking that bell. We'll see you in the next one.